Hello, Captain. Welcome to Naval Action. Here, I am moving on with another part to my two-part tutorial series. It should not move on past part 2, for this will explain the rest of what is needed to know. The rest of what needs to be known. If you have not watched part 1, go ahead and do that now. And one thing I did forget to mention in part 1, repair kits are free on the basic cutter. So, you should definitely buy those, acquire those, because they help when you exit to open world after a battle. So, I have some missions here. I'm not entirely sure if I have the means to take these and win in a basic cutter. But we will find out. What the rank? First lieutenant? No. A cutter cannot handle a first lieutenant mission. So I'm just going to get rid of these that I don't end up in a first lieutenant mission. Select junior lieutenant. Koa, because that is where I am at. Come on. And if you have watched part 1, most of this is explained to the absolute bare minimum. So, here we will set sail. One thing that can definitely be difficult is navigation. I first started character and I looked at the map and I was completely dumbfounded. I did not know what to do. So it is important to know which port you are at. Right now I am at Puerto del Padre, which is here in the Bahamas. I need to head northeast and then southeast, and that should take me right to my destination, my mission. Or I could use this grid and head to 7450 to about 33, 34, 50, and that would take me right to visual range of my mission. But because it is so close to the coast, all you have to do is follow it. It is good to notice the direction wind is blowing when navigating or traveling. If your destination, your endpoint, is in the direction of the wind, all you have to do is point your ship in that direction. If your destination is against the wind, you have to travel perpendicular to the wind. Kind of zigzag until you get there. A little more complex than just going straight to your destination. It is also important to know that the wind does move counterclockwise, very slowly. But it is noticeable after time. Another key thing to remember is when you double tap A or D, it will steer your ship automatically until you tap A or D, or the opposite direction in which you are steering, to release the steer lock. It is good for making sure that you maintain a constant steering and do not have to hold down any keys. Great for multitasking in battles, especially in battles. In the open world, when you click a ship and you need to unselect that ship, just left click in any open spot on your screen. The mission should become visible shortly. The missions are not referred to as combat missions, but as Admiralty orders. You must be within range of the mission to enter it. It is good to know which city or port your mission is near. It better helps navigation. All missions reside within the middle of the crossed swords. When you are within range of the Admiralty order, you will see stats pertaining to this order. You will also get the option to enter. Sometimes you receive AI assistance, and sometimes you don't. When you see your opponent ahead, it is good to know what it is they are sailing. Simply push M and select your target. Early on, you don't need to worry about boarding ships, but it can happen, so watch your speed and distance to enemies, especially AI and players. It is good to turn or steer into the wind rather than against it. It is also good to depower when steering using the wind, as it will help you steer faster. Using Z and C, you can use the wind to steer your ship faster than if you would have just used the rudder. Double tapping on A or D locks the steering until you release it by tapping on A or D in the opposite direction of your steering. It is good to fire before your crosshairs or area of fire cross over the target, as there is a delay in the cannon fire. After manually adjusting the sails, don't forget to push F to set it back to auto. Pushing B will take you into battle sails automatically. It is important to know your ship's capabilities and what it is able to fight, though I would not experiment too much. I wouldn't experiment too much early game. It is probably best to experiment with the cutter because they are free. And if you lose that, you can always purchase another. Notice that my fire mode is set to random. This can be changed to rolling front, where the cannons fire from front to back, or rolling back, where it fires from the rear to the front. I prefer rolling front. The bigger your ship gets, the slower the rudder will react. The left low panel shows how many are on board, your sail percentage, and your speed. It also shows the wind direction and how much rudder you are currently using. Don't worry too much if the AI happens to ram you and they lose their bowsprit. However, if you end up ramming the AI because they navigated in front of you, that could be a problem. If you are in a tall ship shooting at smaller ships such as a cutter, it is good to depower so that you are able to depress your weapons lower and hit the target. can select your ammo using 1 to select left, and 1 through 3 to select all, chain, or grape. These will be the only options you have when you first start. This will change when you hire officers or an officer and you get him leveled and start inserting perks. Chain is good for slowing down the enemy so that he cannot outrun you. Chain shot puts holes in the sails, but when using chain shot, make sure to aim for the sails. It is good to know that when you push spacebar, it fires one shot at a time. When you have your shot ranged, go ahead and left click to fire a full broadside. With only 6 cannons and having no carronades, taking out the target takes longer. With carronades, the armor goes down faster, but the range is limited. Once the side armor of either side of the target has been eliminated, they will sink. You no longer have to worry about them coming after you once they have taken on enough water. This cutter is now sinking. You can now divert your direction, and you no longer have to worry about this target. Do keep in mind that changing course and moving away from the target is only good for AI.
He's not on.
If you do this with a player, left your channel. They may repair their ship and stop sinking.
User joined your channel.
Though PvP is not something that should be worried about in the early stages of naval action. When a ship takes on water, the survival, which is currently at 0-0, will start to increase. The more water is in the ship, the higher it gets. When it maxes out, no one is sailing or on gunnery, so your ship is dead in the water. You can also repair your ship by pushing 5 and selecting the proper or respective appropriate selection. Here my ship is damaged, so I'll select repair ship. In a cutter, having the wind come from the starboard over to the port or from the port to the starboard is better than having it directly behind you. With the wind coming over the deck from either the port or starboard, the wind is being caught by all of the sails. And there it is, the cutter has sunk. You exit the battle, simply hit escape, and click leave battle. After you've clicked leave battle, you have two options. You can exit to friendly port, which will teleport you to the nearest friendly port, or exit to open world, which will simply teleport you to your last position. It is probably best to replenish your crew from what you have left over. When you click exit to open world or exit to friendly port, you will get the option to replenish or manage your crew. I will enter the open world so that I can use my repair kits to repair my ship. Sometimes it takes more than one. With my fleet, my crew, fully replenished, I can move on to any other combat orders I have accepted. This is Commodore Jones signing off. Good luck, Captain, and fair seas.